the globe, you can't see all the nations, but on something like the AE, you can. You can see all of the nations, which is
Yeah, so
the
that's
United
the
Nations is trying
globe,
to be
right?
inclusive. No,
And that's the
Yeah.
globe.
that's the AE projection of the globe.
Yeah,
On a
which is
globe, you
so you
can't look
can't
at it.
debunk that, right? If
So
you believe the Earth's a globe, you can't debunk this map now,
it does
right?
it. Yes, yeah. Well, you can debunk it as a representation of a perfect representation of reality, or a close to perfect representation
Wait, do
of
you?
reality.
Yeah, the
From my
map.
understanding, there's only one map that you guys could say is a perfect representation of reality, and it's a perfect sphere.
It's not a perfect sphere. No.
The one that I buy at the store is a perfect sphere, bro. They ain't no pear-shaped thing.
So
Yeah.
let me explain
I
something.
bet you-
The Earth is so pear shaped that if space was real and you looked at it from space, you wouldn't be able to tell that it wasn't a sphere.
I've heard
Right?
that it's more spherical than a cue ball. Is that correct?
Yep.
But that's only if it was shrunk down.
Right.
And or rather specifically, if you were a giant and rubbed your finger over it.
So you would not be able to tell. This is so pear shaped that it would look like a circle to you, or like a ball to you. All right.
Okay, so now that you have the
you have to
representation, now that you have the map,
you have to let go of the pair. That doesn't help your argument. It just makes it sound like you don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's just comic relief amongst all the nonsense. Okay, chill
yeah,
out.
jeez, yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
being
he's
funny,
retarded.
Omni, right now. Right now, we have a guy trying to argue with us that if you turn straight, okay, so it was a funny argument, bro.
I can't tell.
You know how to turn
Can I ask
straight?
about the
You
turning?
could ask
Omni actually
Mordwan.
knows.
Turn
Omni
straight.
actually knows that. Yeah, I don't know what turning straight means, but Omni actually knows that. Right? Are you still with me on this, Omni? The shortest path leading the target thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. I'm telling you, you're not the only one, Omni, so don't feel bad. Because there's nothing I'm saying that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Globers have to agree with me because it's all correct. Like, anyone who even tries to fight it just shows me you don't know how something's working. Like, if you fight me on
There's another
the
constraint.
shortest path, if you fight me on the leading the target argument, you don't know how Coriolis effect works. Sorry.
There's another constraint, though, Jeremy, for people traveling on the Earth, particularly aircraft, right? That you've got the wind, so you're kind of limited by wind speed, and that is your biggest cause of energy consumption, fuel consumption. And the shortest path through the air is the most efficient way to get from A to B. And even with the Earth turning, the most efficient path is directly the shortest path on the surface. So even though your
So you're
merry-go-round
saying the
scenario,
shortest path. Sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, so the
you're
shortest
saying
path through the air. Yeah.
You're saying the shortest path that they could actually take is not one where they don't turn the plane left or right. It's one where they actually turn. You're in a thing. You're turning, and you're going the shortest path. That's your argument?
No. So if you're flying a great circle route, you're not turning. Your heading is changing, but you're not turning.
No, Yeah, hold on. Let's just get this clear right now. If you trace a great circle route on the ground, you absolutely are turning the plane when you're flying over it, and there's a Coriolis effect at play.
No, you're
wrong.
Compared
That's what
to
I'm
what?
saying. You don't know how the Coriolis effect works.
Do you turn on the merry-go-round?
No, but compared to what? What is your reference for the turning? Turning compared to the inertial frame?
When you're dealing with the Coriolis effect, there's an inertial and a non-inertial frame. They trace out two different paths. One of them curves, one of them doesn't. When you're in the plane,
why do we even
this reference that actually matters? And if you don't turn the plane, don't adjust for Coriolis effect. You'll be going in a straight line. Say for any wind. Let's say this is a windless day. If you don't turn the plane, you're flying the shortest path.
Yeah. So if you
agree
if you're
with that?
following the Great Circle route across the surface,
hold on. Do you agree? Hold on, man. Do you agree not turning the plane, just so we can make some kind of forward progress in this? You agree not turning the plane would be the shortest path?
If it was purely inertial, and yeah. If the plane was traveling inertially,
no, you're in the plane, bro. You're in the plane. You want to get from A to B. The shortest path is where you turn. Or you don't turn the plane. There's no wind.
There's no wind and no air, right? So, yeah. So the shortest path.
No, there's no wind. No, there's air.
There's two.
There's
air. Okay. So
air. I don't air. There's no wind. The wind's zero.
Hello?
You're roboting badly for me, Jeremy. I don't know if it's just me or.
He's been roboting for me. It might be different for you, though. I didn't hear robot.
Yeah, I can't hear him. Yeah. Because I have two concerns. One is, why do we need to consider the inertial frame for an aircraft? It's not traveling inertially. It's effectively bound to the ground by the wind. So it's traveling in the earth frame.
Oh,
right?
they're
It can't
lockstep.
escape.
The jet streams.
No, they're not lockstep. Yeah,
Hold
but
on. Hold on. This might be easier. Hold on a second, real quick. Omni, you there?
I've lost him. But I see what you're coming at. That depending on which way you're traveling, the shortest path through free space might be a different path than the path along the ground.
The shortest.
Because we.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the shortest path, ignoring air resistance. As the Earth rotates under you, the shortest path may not be the Great Circle route if you're considering something traveling inertially, and you wanted to get there in a straight inertial line, which is your merry-go-round.
When you guys say shortest path, you're talking about distance, right? You're not talking about time.
Well, it's both, actually. So aircraft are trying to minimize distance and time.
Distance? No, it's not time. It's not time. That doesn't have anything to do with time. It's the
It is, because time is money, right?
Shortest
for
path
aircraft and
is
ships.
distance. Shortest path means distance. Shortest path has nothing to do with time.
No, I don't want to mess up Jeremy's sort of position or argument here, so I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to go the shortest path from A to B, obviously you're not going to turn. And they are turning right now so now what?
Yeah. So when you say turning, you mean turning their headings changing, or they turning compared to the Earth, or compared to the inertial frame?
You're in a plane and you have the wheel, you yoke in your hand, and you turn. That's what it's in reference. Turning the plane.
Why? Why are we turning?
Because they say they have to adjust for the Coriolis effect. Because it's throwing them off course.
But didn't we say before the Coriolis effect on a 10,000 mile trip's only 30 miles or something? It's just
maybe that number may not
amount,
be
right?
That number may not be right. That number may not be right. Yes, it would save you a very small amount of miles. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it would. You know why it would save you miles? Because it's the shortest path, which is what they're not doing right now. So.
Yeah. To be honest, I think it's all lost in the noise. The Coriolis impact for an aircraft traveling at normal aircraft speeds is just about insignificant. Compared to wind,
it's not
wind
lost
shift.
in the noise. They took an olive out of every first class salad once and saved 50 G's. Nothing's lost in the noise with these people. Every penny, every inch, everything matters.
But they do chase jet streams around, don't they? Right. So they're never traveling the straight path. Even they say that they're not traveling the straightest path because they're going for the jet streams. And I slightly actually am very suspicious of the fact that I suspect that they use these excuses in order to direct airline traffic into certain locations or take to certain channels in order to gain advantages for geoengineering purposes and whatever they've got inside their airline fuel. But that's
the jet
story.
streams are good. Oh, sorry, Rick. Yeah, but the jet streams are a good example, right? Because they have velocity relative to the surface of the Earth. So if you can pick up your velocity relative to the surface of the Earth for free, then that's great. and they avoid them going the other direction, or they pick a different current going the other way. It's the same with shipping. That shipping may take an alternate route if the current is outweighing the benefit of the shortest path across the surface. Because ships are even a worse case than aircraft, right? They're traveling very slow. The Coriolis impact on a ship doing a great circle route is just infinitesimally small, right? Because it takes a week to travel from across the Pacific, or 14 days even, right? So the Coriolis impact of something like that is nothing.
The slower you're going, the more it is, the worse it is.
No.
Effect on speed of light.
Who's
Coriolis on the speed of light. Next time
you sound like Metal Mickey.
It's not.
Yeah, you're rubbing really bad.
Can you fix up your connection, Jeremy? It's fucking I'm trying to make it out. I'm doing my best, but
yeah. The top of Coriolis acceleration was proportional to velocity.
See, the
faster you go,
Coriolis would pose more problems for propeller-based planes and jet engines, right?
Because they're just not really, because the propeller planes are traveling slower, so that as they're moving, that there's less rate of turn underneath them.
Because the air sticks
how
to the
fast
ground or something, right? Yeah, right.
Oh, the wind is attached to the ground, right? That there's a maximum difference between the wind and the ground. That's
Jeremy, it's not better, okay? Whatever you did didn't work. Do better, Jeremy.
That's that Coriolis.
Yeah. It's in a jet stream. It's trying to work it out. So the one thing I'm actually going to look into this, it'd be relatively easy. I've just got my hands full at the moment. I probably should stop talking and go look into it. But what is it? So if you're traveling from Sydney to Santiago, that makes sense. West to east, jumping on the jet stream, great. You can get there more efficiently. But if you're flying from Santiago to Sydney the other way, if you're flying east, you get a problem. Unless there are, I don't know, are there jet streams going in the opposite direction, like counterclockwise, or I don't know.
Okay, I'm out of that room. Can you hear me now, Rick? Rick.
You're much better for
Yeah.
Okay, stop listening to this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's demonstrable. The slower you go, the worse the Coriolis effect is. Get a record player. Put your hand at the center of it. Right? Put your hand at the center of it. You can even use a marker. Record player, magic marker, white paper on the record. Move your hand super fast from the center to the circumference. Super fast from the center to the circumference while the record player is spinning. Then do it super slow. See which Coriolis effect is worse. It's demonstrable. What he's saying is the opposite.
No. Yeah, so the Coriolis effect is what you have to account for to keep on track, right? So if you want to account for the Coriolis force, you've got to keep traveling on your track along the ground. So if you're traveling, and I think your record analogies, I'll dig it up, but I'm pretty sure that you can show that the Coriolis force is related to velocity proportionally.
Yes, you can.
Moving velocity squared.
Demonstrable that it's related. It's demonstrable that it's. Can you guys hear me? I'm about to go in another bad room.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll let you know.
Franklin.
All right. Here's okay. It's demonstrable that it is related to velocity, but you have it opposite. The slower you go, the worse it is. Take your hand and a magic marker and spin a piece of paper under you and go super fast from the center to the edge. There will be very little curve in that line. In fact, the faster you go, the less curve it'll be. And then do it super slow, but spin it at the same speed, but go super slow. The Coriolis effect is much worse when you go slower.
Yeah, but the physics says, and I just quickly checked it, that the Coriolis force is proportional to the object's speed in the rotating frame. So the faster you're going in the rotating frame, the higher the Coriolis force. I see what you're trying to describe with the record player, but I think that you might not actually be describing the Coriolis force there.
I am 100% Coriolis course, 100%. And it's demonstrable that when I'm making true right now, it is Coriolis effect. You move a plane, move in a straight line above it, a rotating thing. Doesn't even matter. Just something rotating, you move in a straight line above it. The slower you go, the worse the Coriolis is going to be. I promise. You can go. You can do it right now. So whoever told you that is not your friend.
Yeah, I don't think you can judge it from the record play, but we'll defer to the actual physics of Coriolis before we go any further on that. But that's cool. I'm happy to leave that one where it is.